found him.
Sure. I found her who found him.
Good. Welcome everyone to the press conference after the bronze medal match between the McMaster Marauders and the Alberta Golden Bears. The McMaster Marauders take the match and the bronze medal by a score of 3-0. First and foremost, gentlemen, congratulations on the bronze medal. It's never easy to get to this point. It's never easy to end the tournament with some hardware. So first and foremost, guys, what does it mean to you to finish this season with a bronze medal around your necks?
I mean, for me, coming into this program and seeing it get done before I came here, and knowing that legacy, that's something that I really wanted to continue for myself, and also just, yeah, I don't know, that's been our goal, especially knowing that it's at home, was to medal. So yeah, super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing. Obviously, when I decided to come here, these things was a big part of it. And I knew there was great leadership, and I knew there were great volleyball players here. So after a real heartbreaker yesterday, it means a lot that we were able to come back today. For myself as well, didn't have a good performance yesterday, so to be able to kind of put it back on today felt great, and just to have all my teammates around me one more time and come out with a medal on my neck, so it was great.
Coaching from you?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, leaving with hardware is a real good feeling. Clearly, I think people had different colors in mind, but we'll take it. We'll take it. We talked early this morning in film, I guess it was early this afternoon, but we said that this match had a lot to do with the things that are written on our walls, the principles that we live by, excellence, integrity, and honesty and respect. And in our program, we talk a lot about character, and that's what it took today, is just straight character. So it was two teams that you could just see were just draining their tanks trying to do something out there, and our character prevailed. So hats off to Alberta. They're one of the best programs in volleyball history in Canada. So to have this medal around our neck and to know who we had to go through to get it, that'll be a source of pride for the rest of my life.
Mills, speaking of character, you had a bit of a rough patch there in the second set. Got blocked a few times, made an error. Coach might sub you out, but instead you came back even harder and you were dynamic in the third set. What did you do? What did you switch to be able to make that switch there?
Well, my year started with a rough patch, so it's not nothing I'm not used to. This whole year has been a lot of ups and downs for me, and I was finally able to put the pieces together, kind of coming through our OUA playoffs, and then into that first match of nationals. Yesterday wasn't my best game, and then the start of today wasn't my best start either. But I think something my roommate said to me last night when I got home, he was like, "Man, it's looking a little bit obvious that you're not forgetting the last point when you go to hit again or go to make the next action." So I know I can play with all those guys out there, and I know my capabilities. So I just kind of said, screw it, next point, let's just go again, and was able to put the pieces together in the course of a game rather than over a set of games. So it feels good to bounce back.
I just have one thing to add to that. When I sat in Brendan's living room through the recruiting process, I was talking about McMaster being a special place, and he said, "Coach, confidence is not my issue." I knew I wanted him in our program at that point, and that's when you know a guy who's confident in himself. You know, you got to let the big dogs eat.
where you had a slower start to the game. You just weren't getting that much volume. When you don't have the momentum early on like that, where do you find it yourself to kind of keep it going?
Yeah, that's certainly, it's happened before, and what my goal is just to influence the game in other ways, through my serve, through my reception, communication, blocking, like really anything other than attacking. If I'm not getting the looks because other guys are taking volume and they are in the spots to help us score, and so yeah, I just try and look to other parts of my game, defense as well. So yeah.
How important was it for you today to get the job done for the man who's sitting beside you in his last go around in Burridge?
Yeah, that means a lot to me. I mean, I can only begin to kind of understand what it means to Dave, but from what I can understand, yeah, that was a big motivator for me, for sure. Yeah.
What's that one for you?
It means everything to me. There wasn't a ton of people interested in me going to university. I'm raw. I'm still skinny. I was even skinnier when I got here. And Dave, from the time I was like 14 or 15 years old, saw something in me, and he wanted me here in his gym, and wasn't anyone else who was sitting in my living room coming to talk to me. Even in COVID, a few times, like coming outside just speaking to me in my driveway with a mask on because we didn't have any other option. Because that was just our reality in my recruitment year. No one else got a chance to see how I was improving or playing during that year. We didn't have those opportunities, and Dave was the one who believed in me from the start. So I'm grateful for everything. It's really gonna be missed.
Dave, Sam mentions about how much you wanted to get this for you. What does it mean to you to walk out with a medal around your neck your last game?
It hasn't really sunk in until about the last 20 minutes. And that's the honest truth. Today was a struggle for me because I could see a bunch of guys who really needed some direction, right? Like yesterday, everything they dreamed about vanished. And trying to get those guys back on track in such a short time, and what do you say? How do you say it? So I spent more time thinking than talking. And then as the match went on, I was just trying to get to guys and let's go. But so truth was, I was so consumed about that I never really had a chance to think about, wow, this is over. And then when it was over and I was watching them celebrate, I'm like, wow, this is over. So this will always be a memento from today, but those memories today will, last a lifetime, and the ones that came before it.
And when you say you had to work with them because their dream vanished, yours did too yesterday. How did you work through that for yourself?
My family helps with that. We keep things in perspective. Yeah, it hurts. I told them that yesterday in a post game. It's supposed to hurt. That's because winning means that much, and when you don't, it hurts. But we got to deal with that disappointment, and I thought they did. So we'll unpack it all later on. But right now, I'm just really happy with how they responded to all that.
What do you think when you look at the full gym? Is that a legacy of Dave Preston? Or is the wins, or is the player? What are you here? What do you look at?
It's just a small piece of that. There's the guys that were in the balcony, and the guys that were on the floor, and the guys that were in the bullpen, and they're the ones who built that. Last I checked the stat sheet, still not. Dave Preston hasn't scored a point in that gym. So that's those are the guys. This is their school. This is where they chose to come. This is their student body. this is about the student athletes.
Michael from Cornell for the stage, just to follow up when you mentioned about kind of it being obviously not sinking in until the final like 20 minutes or so. Just during that time, like what was that feeling like, or kind of what was kind of going through your head?
I think you can probably see it in my eyes, Michael. I'm choking them back pretty good, trying to keep composure because I don't want to embarrass my children. Yeah, like the emotions you feel are tremendous. Like watching these guys do what they did today and drain their tanks in front of their student body, in front of their fans, and like it was everything they had. I was looking through the net. It was everything they had too. Like it was just two teams just draining themselves trying to do this, and luckily we came out on top. But like what total of 6-7 points the other way. It was that close today. So.
Dave, coming over to McMaster 20 plus years ago after success with Western, did you ever imagine the success and just kind of the life that you built with your two children, your wife, and just the last 20 years, arriving here 20 plus years ago, 21st season on the bench. Did you ever imagine being in this chair now, the kind of life that you built in the city and in this program, being so beloved?
I kind of wished, I was hoping that might happen, but you don't see it on a day-to-day basis, right? We're just practicing, we're just lifting, we're just recruiting, we're just, that kind of stuff. So you don't see it on a day-to-day. You just, we call it the grind, and you're going through it, and then until you can actually sit back and soak it all up. I never really saw it that way until today. You know what I mean? Like it just never felt like that. But I'm glad I got to share it with these guys, and I know this is a memory that they'll share forever. But like I'm really, really thankful that in August 2002, Trez Quigley believed in me the way I believe in these guys, for her to bring me here and try and build this program to, what her vision was, and she shared it with me. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can get behind that. So, really, really grateful for that.
And to have it end here in Hamilton in the Burge Gym with Gabby Grace and Gloria
Yeah.
here to support, kind of what was it like, after the final point and having it all sink in, the embraces with
Yeah.
coaching staff, with
Yeah.
teammates, with your players, and also three very important people.
Yeah. You're tugging at it, eh? You're tugging at those heartstrings. It's incredible. The only way that this could have been better is with perhaps maybe a different color of one of these, but to feel that today, I'm not really sure that the color of that would have changed. It was just really, really cool that my family can be involved in the fabric of what we do every day. I'm blessed that way, and I'm thankful for the support that they give me on a daily basis.
Coach, how much are you gonna miss the Burge? How much are you gonna miss the grind? And how much are you gonna miss the guys wearing these colors?
A lot. You leave the position, but I can take the relationships with me. That's one way I've looked at it. So we'll still be in touch, and we'll still connect. But yeah, it's starting to sink in that those days are behind me now. So yeah, I'm gonna miss it a lot. Yeah.
Is it safe to say that OUATV is gained another viewer?
Yeah, I'll get my subscription. I hope they don't start charging though. I don't. I hope I can still get that for free. But yeah, Marauder for life. That's what was cool with the alumni reception and having these guys in there and bleed maroon for a long time, rest of my life.
Just a question for all three of you, I guess, can answer. From each of your perspectives,
guess I'll go first. I think every guy on our team is going to give you a different answer. Every single guy in our gym has a different role to play and is asked to step up at different times. So no matter who you ask, you're going to get a different answer. But I just think for me, as a collective, I missed a little bit at the start because I was away with our junior team competing, and then I suffered one of the most heartbreaking losses of my whole life. And when I came back, my confidence that I've always had was a little bit broken, and it took me a while to repair that. So for me, the whole time getting back into it, getting kicked down again, had a concussion, some injuries throughout the season, but then just like slowly being able to incrementally ramp it back up. Dave still trusting me when I was thrown in there when we had some injuries. Every single time giving me the chances that I had wanted and hoped for the whole season, and luckily it panned out. But I think that also is applicable for us as a group. I think every single guy from the start to finish, the improvement was crazy. And it's guys you don't always see on the floor as well, pushing us to be better every single day. There's guys like our most improved player this year probably didn't play tonight, but they will in the future. And I think that's what really matters. This program built from the ground up. So I think that's how I would describe it from the year. Just steps up all the way till now.
Yeah, something that comes to mind just as Millsy's talking there, and it's something that Coach talks a lot about. It's one of our pillars, I believe, but it's belief in ourselves, and that's always a motto for us. And I just really think that this team had a lot of belief in ourselves. Yeah, we've been together for a while. We've been able to knit together well, and yeah, I mean, playing every single game that we played this year, we knew that we had what it took, and that was really important for us this year.
I think the biggest thing was learning. There was a lot we learned this year. We learned that belief in ourselves. I think every situation, the way they handled their game planning and everything, I think the amount of learning that we did this year eventually paid off. And that was learning about ourselves, learning about our teammates, learning about the situation, learning about the game. So I think, and myself learning about them. How do you make these guys go? How do you figure these guys out? Where are they coming from, and what's going to get them to the next level? So I think the biggest thing this season was the learning.
Coach, I saw you crack a smile a few times during that game on the sideline.
No.
I know.
Come
I
on.
couldn't believe it myself.
It's just because he's trying to get me to smile.
Were you
True statement.
Were you able to kind of be aware of the moment throughout the game at times, and also notice, on that final point, I've seen you join in on the celebrations before, but you just kind of stood there.
I want to soak that one in. Yeah. That's part of the learning, I think, Everett, honestly. Knowing that if I get tight, they might get tight. And so we've got to figure that out and, know how to keep some guys loose and then know how to dial some other guys in. That's the thing with coaching is it doesn't matter how you coach if they don't receive it. All right? So you got to figure all of them out. And that took some learning. And so, Sammy needs to smile for him to play well. Even in a press conference, he needs to crack a smile every once in a while. All right? But other guys, like Woj, don't need to smile. No. Woj just needs his direction and go. So that's a different button to push on all those guys. So there were points and times where, yeah, maybe I was trying to get some guys going. That's what it took today, right? But yeah, at the end, you're right. I wanted to soak that one in. I wanted to remember that one. I didn't have a camera with me, so I needed to imprint that one in my mind.
Don't worry, I filmed it for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? Awesome. Well, gentlemen, congratulations on the bronze medal here at the U Sports National Championships. Coach, congratulations on a fantastic career. Best of luck at the international level.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sammy, or 368?